In one of comics' most legendary moments, Superman wielded Mjolnir. During the JLA/Avengers crossover event in 2003, the Avengers and Justice League united to stop the cosmic villain Krona. With Thor incapacitated and two universes hanging in the balance, Superman stepped forward. Odin temporarily lifted the hammer's enchantment, allowing the Man of Steel to wield Mjolnir alongside Captain America's shield. Empowered by the hammer's lightning, Superman delivered the decisive blow that saved reality itself. But here's the twist. After victory, Superman found he could no longer lift the hammer. The enchantment reasserted itself because Odin had only granted temporary access. Thor later acknowledged that while Superman is supremely noble, he lacks the warrior spirit of an Asgardian. He could only borrow Mjolnir's power in humanity's darkest hour. This moment gave fans the ultimate what-if spectacle. Seeing DC's greatest icon prove himself worthy of Marvel's most legendary weapon symbolized the unity of comics' two biggest universes. It confirmed that when it comes to pure heroism, even Odin's magic recognizes the last son of Krypton. Captain America, always worthy. Perhaps the most famous wielder of Mjolnir, aside from Thor himself, is Steve Rogers. In the comics, Cap first lifted the hammer back in 1988 during the Mighty Thor issue 390. Thor was in desperate need, and Steve, operating as the captain at the time, didn't hesitate. He raised Mjolnir high, turned the tide of battle, then humbly returned it to Thor. His selflessness in that moment exemplified everything the worthiness enchantment tests for. But the real payoff came decades later in Avengers Endgame. Facing Thanos in Earth's darkest hour, an older and battle-worn Captain America summoned Thor's hammer. The moment elicited thunderous cheers in theaters worldwide. With Mjolnir and his unbreakable shield in hand, Cap delivered a rousing counterattack against the Mad Titan. The seeds for this were planted in Age of Ultron when Steve nudged the hammer ever so slightly, hinting at his hidden worthiness. Directors later confirmed that Cap refrained from lifting it fully, then out of respect for Thor's ego. When he finally unleashed his full worthiness in Endgame, it became one of the most satisfying moments in superhero history. It reaffirmed that Steve Rogers possesses a pure heart and represents everything heroic: courage, honor, and unwavering integrity. Thor himself smiled and said, "I knew it," acknowledging what everyone suspected all along. Venom, from villain to cosmic savior. The once villainous Eddie Brock achieved cosmic redemption and a stunning Mjolnir moment in the King in Black event finale. In 2021, Earth was overrun by Null, the god of symbiotes. Eddie, having died in battle, was resurrected by the Enigma Force, the power of Captain Universe, as the new cosmic protector. Supercharged by this godly power, Eddie summoned Mjolnir right out of Thor's hand with a mere gesture. Then he did the unthinkable, fusing Thor's hammer with Silver Surfer's cosmic surfboard to forge an even mightier weapon. Wielding this hybrid axe, Venom sliced through Null's dragon hordes and ultimately defeated the Dark Deity, saving Earth and the entire universe. Crucially, it was the Enigma Force judging Eddie worthy that allowed him to wield Mjolnir. The cosmic power essentially made him Captain Universe, granting temporary worthiness. Moments after victory, Eddie willingly returned the hammer and board to their owners. This triumphant scene capped off Eddie Brock's journey from murderous anti-hero to true savior, proving that even those with dark pasts can rise to godly heroism. Loki, the inverted god of mischief. Believe it or not, Thor's devious brother Loki once lifted Mjolnir, but only under extraordinary circumstances. In the Avengers and X-Men Axis event from 2014, a magic spell inverted heroes' and villains' personalities. Loki's wicked nature flipped to pure good, while Thor became unworthy and corrupted. On the moon, this virtuous Loki confronted an enraged, evil Thor, and, in a moment of heroism, picked up Mjolnir. As he grasped the hammer, Loki was transformed into a muscular Thor version of himself, clad in Asgardian armor. He relished wielding the power that had forever eluded him, using it to knock sense into his brother. However, once the inversion spell was undone, Loki lost his worthiness as quickly as he'd found it. Tellingly, Thor had been too consumed by rage to even remember his brother's shining moment. This twist gave fans a bittersweet glimpse of Loki's potential for nobility, a brief wish fulfillment where the god of mischief proved himself worthy, only to have it snatched away. An ironic and fleeting triumph highlighting how close Loki could come to true heroism. Wonder Woman, the Amazon Princess. In the rare DC vs. Marvel crossover event from 1996, Wonder Woman proved that worthiness transcends universe boundaries. During a battle between Thor and Shazam, Thor dropped his hammer. Diana stumbled upon Mjolnir amid the chaos and discovered she could lift it with ease. Instantly, she was imbued with the power of Thor, her costume even transforming as she wielded the Hammer of Thunder. But here's where Diana's true character shone through. She was scheduled to duel Marvel's Storm as part of the crossover's hero matchups, and holding Mjolnir would give her an unfair advantage. In a display of pure sportsmanship, Wonder Woman willingly relinquished the hammer before the fight. This noble act ultimately cost her the duel. Storm won, but it solidified Diana's integrity beyond any doubt. The crossover confirmed that Wonder Woman possesses the heart of a warrior true enough to satisfy Odin's enchantment. This inter-company Easter egg thrilled fans by proving that a DC icon was worthy of the Marvel Universe's greatest weapon. It highlighted the kinship between two heroic ideals, showing that Diana's virtue and warrior spirit parallel Thor's own values. Vision, the synthetic Avenger. In Avengers Age of Ultron, Earth's mightiest heroes met Vision, a newly born synthezoid. The team was unsure if this artificial being could be trusted, until a quietly stunning moment settled the debate. To everyone's surprise, Vision effortlessly lifted Mjolnir and handed it to Thor, demonstrating his pure intentions. This act instantly signaled that Vision was worthy, or at least not hindered by the hammer's enchantment, persuading the wary Avengers to accept him. The humorous setup made it even better. Several heroes had just failed to budge the hammer at a party, making Vision's casual lift a crowd pleaser. Even Tony Stark quipped about whether it counted since Vision was an android. Fans debated whether Vision was inherently worthy, or if the hammer's magic didn't classify him as human enough to be tested. Either way, Vision wielded Mjolnir in combat against Ultron's forces, proving crucial in the battle. This moment became one of Age of Ultron's most memorable scenes, validating Vision's heroism instantly, and foreshadowing even more iconic hammer lifts to come in the MCU. Jane Foster, the mighty Thor. Long a supporting character in Thor's world, Dr. Jane Foster took on the mantle of Thor in a dramatic turn. After the original Sin storyline, Thor Odinson was deemed unworthy to lift Mjolnir. Jane Foster picked up the abandoned hammer on the moon and was transformed into the new mighty Thor, first revealed in 2014. Jane's tenure as Thor came with a devastating burden. In her human form, she was battling cancer, and wielding Mjolnir purged the effects of her chemotherapy. Every time she became Thor, she was essentially undoing her cancer treatment. Nonetheless, she heroically accepted this cost, defending Asgard and Earth from threats like Malekith and the Mangog. Jane kept her identity secret at first, even from Odin. Her worthiness was proven through ultimate self-sacrifice. In The Death of the Mighty Thor arc, she gave her life to stop the monstrous Mangog. Thor Odinson later convinced Odin to revive her, and in recognition of her bravery, Odin offered Jane a place among the honored dead in Valhalla. Jane's ascension to Thor was a milestone showing that worthiness transcends gender or identity. Her arc blended epic superheroics with human vulnerability, becoming one of the most celebrated modern Marvel stories. Beta Ray Bill, the alien champion. Beta Ray Bill made history in 1983 as the first being outside Asgard to lift Thor's hammer. This cyborg-enhanced alien warrior was chosen to protect his endangered people, the Corbinites. When Thor encountered Bill in space, the two heroes battled fiercely, each misjudging the other. Thor was separated from Mjolnir, and to his utter shock, Beta Ray Bill picked it up. The hammer deemed Bill worthy, transforming him with the power of Thor. Rather than creating a rivalry, this twist birthed a lasting friendship. Odin himself was astonished by Bill's valor. After a test of honor, Odin returned Mjolnir to Thor and rewarded Beta Ray Bill with Stormbreaker, a new enchanted hammer of his own. Bill and Thor thereafter fought side by side, regarding one another as brothers. This storyline shattered the assumption that only Thor or Asgardian blood could wield Mjolnir. Beta Ray Bill's noble character beneath an alien, almost fearsome appearance resonated strongly with fans. His triumph demonstrated that courage and righteousness know no species. The heart, not the heritage, is what makes one worthy of Thor's power. Eric Masterson, the everyman Thor. Eric Masterson was a mortal everyman, a construction worker and single father, who improbably became Thor's successor. In 1989, Eric courageously lifted Mjolnir to protect the fallen Thor from the villain Mongoose. By Odin's decree, the gravely injured Eric was merged with Thor to save his life. For a time, Eric could transform into Thor's form, serving as the Thunder God's alter ego on Earth. He even battled cosmic threats like Thanos during the Infinity Gauntlet saga while in Thor's role. Eventually, Eric proved his heroism independent of Thor. By 1993, he was separated from Thor and received his own enchanted mace called Thunderstrike, adopting that name as a new hero. Eric Masterson's tenure as Thor illustrated that worthiness isn't limited to gods or super soldiers. Even a normal man with courage and a good heart could lift the hammer and carry on Thor's legacy. His journey from nobody to worthy wielder resonated deeply with readers, showing that the power of Thor could be borne by the most unlikely hero. Throg, the Frog of Thunder. One of Thor's strangest allies is Puddlegulp, a humble frog formerly known as Simon Walterson. Introduced in 1986, Puddlegulp befriended Thor when the god was briefly transformed into a frog and helped him defend the frog colony in Central Park. Years later, this small amphibian earned a big honor. In 2017, a sliver of Mjolnir's broken fragments mystically transformed into Frogjolnir, allowing Puddlegulp to lift it and become the mighty Throg. This tiny amphibian possessed the thunderous power of Thor, all in pint-sized frog form. Throg's origins trace back to Walt Simonson's legendary run, and the character later formed the Pet Avengers. Throg lifting even a fragment of Mjolnir proved his valor and purity of heart. This bizarre yet endearing episode stands as a fan-favorite example that worthiness isn't about size or species. Even a tiny frog can carry the mantle of Thor, reminding readers that heroism can come in any shape or size. Squirrel Girl, the unbeatable wielder. In the comedic one-shot, The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl Beats Up the Marvel Universe from 2016, Doreen Green got an unexpected chance to wield Mjolnir. A mishap created an identical evil clone named Aline who nearly conquered Earth. At the story's climax, Doreen's pet squirrel Tippy-Toe teleported Thor's hammer to the moon, allowing Squirrel Girl to grasp it. In that instant, she was judged worthy and gained the full power of Thor. This surprise turn helped Doreen triumph over her doppelganger, as the villainous clone couldn't lift the hammer due to her corrupted heart. This lighthearted tale showed even an unconventional hero can meet the worthiness test. Doreen had already bested foes like Dr. Doom and Thanos through her unique combination of squirrel powers and problem-solving skills, but lifting Mjolnir solidified her place among Marvel's elite. It was a tongue-in-cheek yet worthy moment underlining that heroism and a pure heart can come in the most unexpected forms, delighting fans with its absurdity and charm. These moments prove that Mjolnir's worthiness enchantment isn't about power, heritage, or even species. It's about character, the courage to do what's right, the selflessness to put others first, and the integrity to wield great power responsibly. From gods and super soldiers to aliens, androids, and even animals, the hammer has recognized true heroism in its many forms. Each lifting of Mjolnir tells us something profound about what it means to be a hero. So what do you think? Which unexpected Mjolnir wielder surprised you the most? Are there any worthy characters we missed? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the legendary moments and hidden secrets of the Marvel Universe. See you in the next video.